Okay, so I'm not going to be there on Wednesday, so I wanted to walk you guys through the answers to the practice and review, which we didn't get to cover all of on Monday, and to the um, Sententiae Antiqui, which is the assignment for Wednesday, um, along with this passage. So I'll do this in three chunks so that it's easier to upload to Moodle, and I'm going to hope that that works. The first chunk will be the practice and review, including the stuff that we did get to yesterday. The second chunk will be the Sententiae Antiqui, and the third chunk will be this passage. So, starting with the practice and review. The first two sentences we got through in class yesterday, but I'm going to go through them just briefly for the sake of completeness. Number one, etiam senes fructibus sapientiae et conciliis argumentisque certi saepe carent. So even old men carent, lack, right? And remember, carent takes the ablative, lack the fruits of wisdom. So that's an ablative fructibus of wisdom. And they lack conciliis, they lack plans, and they lack argumentisque certis, right? And they lack certain arguments, often. So even old men often lack the fruits of wisdom and plans, counsels, and certain arguments. Number two, aut ingentes montes, aut flumina ciliaria de quae de montibus fluebant, hostes ab urbe prohibebant. So either huge mountains or swift rivers, which were rushing down, which were flowing down from the mountains, were prohibiting, they were keeping away the enemies from the city. And we talked yesterday about how prohibio is a compound of pro in front of and habeo to hold. So this is another verb that takes an ablative of separation. But you can see that prohibio you use with ob, right? Ob urbe. So number three, quoniam nimis fortia facta faciebat, aetas eus erat brevis. Quoniam, since, this is one of these conjunctions. So since nimis fortia facta faciebat, since he was doing, faciebat's imperfect, he was doing facta, deeds that were nimis fortia, that were too brave, too strong. So since he was doing two strong deeds, two brave deeds, that is to say, not the number two, but deeds that were too strong, too brave, his aetas, his time of life, was brevis, short. Since he was doing deeds that were too brave, his time of life was short. Remember, eus, the genitive of is, id, means his, her, or its. Unless you're talking about something that belongs to the subject of the sentence, in which case you would use suis. Number four, illa medica facere poterat multa manu dextra, sed sinistra manu pauca. So our subject here, illa medica, that doctor. It's a female doctor, otherwise it'd be medicus. That doctor facere poterat, was able to do multa, many things. So multa is a neuter substantive. From its ending, the a, we know that it's things in the plural. And here we have an ablative of means. With her right hand, manu dextra. But, let's take our main verb again, was able to do. Pauca, few things. Parallel to multa, few things with sinistra manu, with her left hand. So we've got a right-handed doctor here. That doctor was able to do many things with her right hand, but few things with her left hand. Number five. Veritas nos metu gravi jam liberavit, quod diu teriti sumus. Veritas is truth. Remember, anything that ends in tas or tudo, tas like here, is an abstract quality that refers to the quality of being whatever the adjective that it's affixed to is. So, for example, pulchritudo is the quality of being beautiful, right? Pulcher. So veritas is quality of being true, that is truth. So truth, jam liberabit, will now free, right? Liberabit, bi is the future, jam now, will free us, nos, from gravi metu. Yeah, go ahead and ignore that that note up in the top about my email. Sorry about that. Anyway, the truth will free us, ablative of separation, gravi metu, from heavy fear. Quo, by which we were terrified, teriti sumus. It's a perfect passive verb for a long time, do you? So quo here is our relative pronoun. Remember, relative pronouns take their number and their gender from their antecedent. And the antecedent here is heavy dread, metu gravi. So, because of that, it's masculine and singular. But they take their case from their role in their own clause, right? By which we were terrified for a long time. Here, by which is an ablative of means. Number 6. Quibus generibus scelerum sinistrorum illae duae civitates deletae sunt. Another ablative of means here at the beginning. By what types? Quibus generibus. So quibus here is our interrogative adjective. By what types of sinister deeds? Sinister, remember, means left when you're talking about hands, but here it means ill-omened or kind of wicked. By what type of sinister deeds were illae duae civitates, were those two cities destroyed? Civitas, remember, not exactly a city, more like state. Those two states were destroyed. Tas, of course, because this is an abstract quality from civis, which means citizen. So the civitas, the state, is the abstract made up of all the cives, the citizens. Number 7. Qui mortalis sine amicitia et probitate et beneficio in alios potest esse beatus. So qui mortalis here, again, this is our interrogative adjective because qui has to modify mortalis. So what mortal, without friendship and uprightness and kindness, potest esse beatos, kindness towards others, beneficio in alios, potest esse beatos, is able to be happy. So to put that in another order, what mortal is able to be happy without friendship and honesty, uprightness, and kindness towards others? It's a nice sentiment, right? Number 8. Pater pecuniam ex Graecia in suam patriam moere coiperat, nam familia discedere cupivit. Now, I hope you guys remember koipi is one of two words that we know for to begin, right? Incipio is the other word that we know for begin. And koipi only has forms in the perfect system. So we can only use it in the perfect tense, the pluperfect tense, or the future perfect tense. Now, koiperat here with this ERA means that we're talking about the pluperfect tense. So the father, the pater, had begun. Here's your complementary infinitive. Had begun to move his money, pecunia, out of Greece, ex Graecia, in suam patriam, into, in plus the accusative is into, right? So into his own fatherland. Conjunction, for his family desired to depart, discedere. Number 9. A quibus studium difficilium artium eo tempore neglectum est. A quibus. Here we have our interrogative pronoun. By what people? By whom? And whom here is plural, right? Quibus instead of quo in the singular. So by whom was the studium, the pursuit of difficult arts, neglected? Neglectum est. Simple perfect tense. Perfect passive. Neglectum est. Eo tempore, at that time. Remember, that's an ablative of time when. Number 10. Ubi versus Elias auctoris clari lecti sunt, auditores delectati sunt. So ubi here is going to be where. Where the verses, the versus, of that famous author, of that well-known Clarus author. Eleala, Lod, remember, is the demonstrative pronoun that means that. Hic haec hoc is the demonstrative pronoun that means this. So where the verses of that author, lecti sunt, were read, simple perfect passive, the hearers were delighted. again, perfect passive delectati sunt. And you can see that the two of these have parallel forms, lecti sunt, delectati sunt. Both of them use the fourth principal part together with the verb to be, sunt. And remember, the fourth principal part has to have an ending on it that modifies the subject of it, right? So what's the subject of it here? Versus, versus, right? Versus is masculine, so lecti is masculine and plural, just like versus is masculine and plural. The subject of delectati is auditores. Again, masculine and plural. So where the verses of that famous author lecti sunt were read, the auditores, the listeners, delectati sunt, were delighted. Number 11. Se cito iecerunt ad Genoa iudicum, qui autem nullam clementiam demonstraverunt. All right, so say, remember say is an important word. Comes from the Latin reflexive pronoun. And the reflexive pronoun is sui sibi se se, right? Blank sui sibi se se, no nominative. We talked about this in class a little bit yesterday. So it's no nominative, it doesn't have a nominative form because it always points back to whatever the nominative in the sentence is. So if you don't have a nominative expressed in the sentence, and here we don't, right? Say cito, that's not working. If you don't have a nominative expressed in the sentence, then you've got to go to the verb. So iecerunt, our verb is just going to be they. So they threw, say, themselves. So they threw themselves, cito, quickly, ad Genoa iudicum. So Genoa here is one of our 4 Latin nouns that are going to be fourth declension and neuter, right? So like other neuter nouns, the accusative of it just ends with an A, and here you can see it's a UA because the fourth declension has a U as its theme vowel. So ad takes the accusative, ad Genoa iudicum, to the knees of the judges. So they quickly threw themselves to the knees of the judges. The judges who, qui autem, however, demonstrated no clemency, showed no mercy, right? So qui, again, relative pronoun. Relative pronouns take their number and their gender from their antecedent. Iudicum is the antecedent here. Iudices are judges or jurymen. So it's masculine and plural, and qui, therefore, is going to be masculine and plural. And qui, like every other relative pronoun, takes its case from its Roland zone clause. So demonstraverunt is the subject of that is qui. So who showed. So since it's the subject, we're going to make it masculine. I hope you're having an okay time ignoring this new Oxford American Dictionary blurb that keeps popping up. I'm in a Kindle reader, and so I'm highlighting things so that you'll be able to see them highlighted, but the Kindle reader keeps trying to show you the definitions of them, which is a pain because these aren't in English. So anyway, that's what we've got for the practice and review. I'm going to go ahead and stop the video here. I'm going to close my email so that those pop-ups stop. And then I'll start with the Sententii Antiqui in another video.